This is an original Xbox One. I'll be doing Phase 3 testing on. This console is serial number 1109971538848. Let me bring up the notes that I have for this console. Just kind of walk through them and also kind of serves as a reminder for me. Uh, Console has 500 gigabyte internal HDD. Oh, right. Okay. So this was most likely part of a pair of consoles I purchased that had an E100 error. And I mean, I won't. I think I've said this story every time I've brought this console up, but the two consoles had their hard or their disk drive swapped. You can't do that with the Xbox One because the hard drives are or the disk drives are married to the motherboard, or specifically the little daughter board inside the disk drives are married to the daughter board or to the motherboard. And since they share encrypted channels, you can't just swap the disk drives without swapping the daughter boards, which in this case, they did not swap the daughter boards, so both consoles spat out an E100 error. When I reswapped in the original disk drives, it worked just fine. The top shell was melted, so I replaced it with another scrap one, and I mean, it's not in fantastic shape, but it. Let me tell you, it's a lot better than the one that was in. I was when I was first originally getting these consoles, I didn't have enough hard drives to pass around, so I did pass around a hard drive. I don't remember if it came with one originally, but it did for the most part, aside from just the disk drive being wrong, just being the wrong disk drive, and maybe it didn't have a hard drive. All it really needed was cleaning and testing. It also was missing a foot. I did re-add a foot. Either I custom made one or no, it looks like I added a foot from another console. And those are just the little rubber feet. So got all that buttoned down. So on to phase 1 testing. The boot, and since I did swap in a hard drive, the boot animations are, or the boot animation for the original Xbox One is present. Console connects to a controller, and the disk drive functions as I would expect. Madden 19 is a bit of an exception, it's a damaged disk. So on my Xbox Series X, I can only get it to install up to about 18.42 gigabytes before failing. This one failed at 18.43 gigabytes, which is expected. And even I've had some original Xboxes that will fully install this game. I don't exactly know why. It could just be based on like the model of disk drive that they use. Maybe this one uses an older model disk or a newer model disk drive that's not as powerful. It's all speculation. I don't exactly know. But it was able to install the other remaining games perfectly fine, as I would expect. For phase 2 testing, I did a 1 hour Madden 20 AI game. Spat out a max temperature of about 58 or 50.8 degrees Celsius, which is perfectly fine. Let me add in a couple things here. I've been kind of doing a lot of this. A lot of this documentation I'm kind of making up as I go along, so this one I haven't updated to my most recent template. But I basically so right now I'm on phase 3 testing, which I need to check all the ports. I want to see if this console will connect to 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. I don't know. I don't exactly know if there's a few things I've kind of noticed about original Xboxes. I don't know how much of it is true. Whether or not the Wi-Fi chip inside can even connect to a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, or if it's far more sensitive, or maybe the range in it isn't as good. So I'll just see what it does, just based on the normal position. And then I'll just do a physical condition assessment. So for the ports will be a little bit of a I'll be kind of grabbing at different, or I'll be mainly using my laptop. I can do my Ethernet, I can do my HDMI in, because this has an HDMI in port. I have a SPDIF to connect to my DAC that will connect to a soundbar underneath my monitor. The only thing I won't be able to test is an IR in for like IR blaster, like output or whatever those are for TV remotes. I have a set of those like little extenders, but I don't exactly know how I can test it. And as far as I'm concerned, if everything else works, I have no reason to believe that wouldn't. And I mean, if the HDMI in was already a niche sort of use case, I would assume that little IR port is even more of a niche case. For the USB ports, I'll test a external hard drive just to see if it will show up. And then, of course, there's the Connect port, which I will test with a Connect that I believe is fully functional. So I'm just going to get the network stuff out of the way because I kind of have to... I'm not exactly going to show that on screen. I don't want to blast my access point. So I'm going to get my laptop ready to do the Ethernet. Signed in, I'm going to head over the settings. It is connecting to the 5 gigahertz band. And I mean, this could also be a, like, revision of the Wi-Fi. I think this may have been a matte top, if I remember correctly, I think this may have been a matte top Xbox One, which my understanding might be a later revision. Because there's this glossy one that just gets scratched up to hell, and then there was like a matte version. I'll have to see if there's any difference. Maybe it just uses a newer Wi-Fi Bluetooth card. But it connects to my access point. I was able to fully install it, or fully update it. Let me get up. Little flap on my Ethernet cable kind of disrupts. I'm just going to get all of my different cables plugged into it right now, so I can do kind of all of this at once. So Ethernet, HDMI in, I'm going to grab my SPDIF. To show that the SPDIF is working, here's the end that will plug into my DAC. Its signal's going through. So, okay. Have it connected via wired, and it is detecting that it's connected via wire. Not my notes. Want my capture card. Test the network connection. Connected to the internet. And I am hearing menu navigation sounds out of my soundbar. Go down to the store. And it is indeed connecting to Wi-Fi. Or it's connecting via Ethernet. I'm just gonna bring up a random video trailer.
Does the color of the sky mean anything special to you?
Alright, I got sound out of it. So Spidiff is working. Let me go to my game and apps. So let me bring up my laptop. So in order to get the TV, just go to One Guide. Let me bring up a benign screen on my laptop. Skip. Skip. Next. There it is. Calculator app on my laptop. So that works perfectly fine. So that kills a lot of birds. Let me get my laptop shut off here. Start disconnecting all this stuff. I'll do the connect last. So I'll do the USBs next. Get all this out of the way. It's quite a cumbersome amount of cables. I'll swap over to my storage devices. Okay. And then what I'll do is just plug in my external hard drive just one at a time. I'll start with the port that's over here. It is a 3.5 spinning drive in an external enclosure, so it will take a second to pop up. There it is. Portable 2 terabytes. Plug it. Check this port. And I'm just working on the assumption that if it can read an external hard drive, then and can read the hard drive name or what the sort of volume title is, I assume the port is fully working. I have no reason to doubt it. It's not just simply delivering power, it's also delivering data. Alright. All 3 ports work. Now, unless I'm missing something, last port that I'm going to test is the Kinect. Now I have an Xbox One Kinect. I'm actually going to test this other one. Both of these Kinects are in pretty good shape. One's just missing this back plate that hides the screws, but I think that's mostly benign. But both of these Kinects are in very good shape, so this will sort of function to test these as well. I'm going to turn it around. It is detecting my Kinect. Looks like you've hooked up a Kinect sensor. It wants me to restart. Alright, let it do that. Oh, it's doing a full restart. Okay. If 500 gigabyte solid state drives weren't prohibitively expensive, it'd definitely be a worthy upgrade. Just for the snappiness. Signing back in. Your Connect is ready to go. Do you want to set it up now or skip it? Let's start network or Connect setup. So it's showing this sort of like, well, like IR infrared of my area in front of my, or behind my Xbox. There's my hand. I see the floor. I see the floor. This is more related to the Connect, but I just want to make sure that it, like, works. Tilt it until it's in the green circle. Oh. There we go. Not quite right. Whatever. Start audio check. I'm not going to do the audio check because that would involve me putting in my SPDIF again, which I'm not going to do. So, I mean, as far as I can tell, everything works fine. Because this is less about the Connect itself and more about the console's ability to utilize it. And I think it showing an image is good enough proof to me that the Connect works just fine. So every port works within the realm or sort of the bounds in which I'm testing. And I don't expect any faults that are sort of outside of my testing. So all the ports are good, again, with the exception of that little IR port. Connects to 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. And last but not least, we'll be doing a physical condition assessment. Letting it power down. Alright. So, I mean, if it's not too obvious, this console's already a little too big for my setup. I've had to sort of stretch my camera out to its limit. For the top shell, I mean, it's already rather obvious. It's a glossy shell piece. It's just covered in scratches. Nothing deep. But, I mean, it's just covered in scratches. As far as the plastic vent piece looks really good, all things considered. I mean, I cleaned it the best that I could. So not an easy piece to clean. The front piece, again, just glossy plastic. All scratched up. There's a scratch right there. There's a couple good, like, pry mark looking things right here. I don't know if somebody tried prying this thing apart. Like, it's pretty consistent around, like, this area of the shell. So I'm not sure what that's all about. There's a mark right there above the eject button. Like an indent. Side of the console is nothing too crazy. Nothing really worth mentioning. Other side looks, again, nothing really worth mentioning. Bottom of the console. So it does have all 4 feet. It looks like I did just put on, I harvested one from another console. There's a lot of these just like white paint marks. I don't think these come off. These survived a cleaning pass. Some good scratches right there. So, I mean, it's a little cosmetically rough. I would say it's not egregious. So I might give it a 2 out of 4, which is a good. I think this plastic vent piece looks really good. The other vent pieces look really good. I never looked at the back, actually. I mean, there's also some pry marks right here as well. This vent piece is like bent in. I actually don't think I've ever noticed. I don't think I noticed that. Now that's actually like damaged. Like that's pushed and like warped in. That's not because I didn't reassemble this incorrectly. It's because this should be straight. But I think I might still stick with that. There is some like weird oddities about it, but it does look worse than better, but I think it's good enough to at least give it a 2. Or what did... Because I technically don't have a 0 out of 4 rating. That would be like if this thing was like physically destroyed. But I think I'm comfortable enough giving it a 2 out of 4, which is a good. Glossy pieces. I scratched pretty good. Prime marks around faceplate and rear shell. I don't know what those pry marks are all about. I mean, I could almost classify that little mark right there as a pry mark as well. But yeah, it's just like right around here. Like these are very clearly like pry marks. Someone jammed something in here to try and take it off. White marks on bottom of shell. All of the ports look really good. Rear grill piece bent. And I think that's pretty much it. So, 2 out of 4, good. It isn't great. I would say it's on like the lower end of good, but I think aside from the glossy pieces, of course, are always going to look bad. But the matte plastic pieces are in okay shape for the most part. There's those pry marks, but I think it's in pretty solid shape overall.